Yeah, so I'll wait for a few people to get in. But this is basically about rage applying. I don't know if you all have heard of this yet, but it's called rage applying. It's very interesting. So it's basically following the story of Jordan Smith, who is an executive apparently in the music industry. And she kind of coins the term of rage applying. So she says, I rage applied to 5 jobs after being passed over for promotion and scored a higher paying position in less than a week. She goes on to say, I had been in the music department of a sportscasting company for 2 years when my supervisor left. When I wasn't promoted, I rage applied to 5 new jobs and was hired somewhere else within a week. I work in a smaller office now, but I'm making more as a manager. So, welcome back to Becoming Bossy. I hope that all of you are doing well. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel before we get into it, because I've always been curious about what rage applying is. And now that I read the article, it all makes more sense. So, let's get into it. She begins by saying, I had worked at a sports broadcasting company for 2 years when my boss decided to leave for another company. We specialized in organizing musical layouts for entertainment programs, and it was a relatively new department that I helped build. It can be tough to get ahead in the music business, so landing this position in August 2020, after losing my first postgraduate job earlier that year, made me feel more established in my field. When my supervisor left, I thought the higher ups would at least let me interview for the now vacant position. I was his right hand man for 2 years, but I was surprised when his replacement was announced before I could be considered for the more senior role. Wow, so here we have someone who has apparently been with the company for at least 2 years, because this article was published, I believe, either at the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023. And so the person joined the company in August 2020. So yeah, I would say at least a good 2 years to be safe. But they didn't even let the person even apply or interview for the job. That's awkward. That's pretty weird. All right, let's continue. My supervisor and I had shared a lot of responsibilities. When he was too busy to do something, I was the person who handled it. Naturally, I thought I would be up next for the promotion if he left, but that wasn't the case. I have definitely seen a few scenarios like this where there was always like a manager and then a senior associate kind of helps that manager handle their responsibilities, or when that manager's on PTO or vacation. PTO is paid time off. When they're on vacation or when they're at a training, that associate would typically take over that manager's roles and duties. And yeah, that associate clearly thinks that he or she is up for the next promotion, but lo and behold, there's a whole other person that's already been selected before that person could even interview. Wow. She goes on to say, I immediately thought, I can't do this anymore. Have any of you felt that way? Comment below. Let me know if you feel that way, because I've always, I know for me, whenever I've been unsatisfied at a job, it's always taken me like months, even sometimes up to a year, to really get the gumption and the courage to leave. I think I'm a type of person that gets so comfortable in positions and at companies that it has to be something dramatic, something serious for me to actively look and seek jobs outside of my company. All right. She goes on to say, it was time to move on. It was very upsetting. I could have cried because I spent so much time building up the music department and even creating how to guides since we were a fairly new team. I was annoyed that they filled the position with someone else in the department without asking if any of the other music coordinators would be interested in it. Now, okay, I have met some coworkers who refuse to make how-to guides because they feel like making how-to guides is literally like teaching someone else how to do your job or basically setting yourself up to be replaced. Welcome, make sure you say hi to me. But yeah, some people really think that creating how-to guides for how to do their jobs basically lets you know, hey, I can be replaced. These are the responsibilities that I have. These are the duties. These are how you perform those duties. So I kind of get it. You make how-to guides, you try to advance your team and just to get slapped in the face, quote unquote, to get looked after when that promotion is available. She goes on to say, in that moment, I started looking through professional Facebook groups, LinkedIn, and other jobs boards to see if anyone was looking for a music manager. I wasn't seeing red, but I was seeing something as I rage applied to 5 new jobs. After 2 years working as a music coordinator for the company, I felt that I had learned all I could. And obviously, there wasn't an opportunity for me to advance where I was. Rage applying for a new job in 2022 landed me 3 interviews and multiple job offers less than a week after my boss overlooked me. So, if you haven't caught on by now, rage applying is when you apply to different positions and jobs and roles just because you have this moment of rage of feeling looked over or maybe not as appreciated as you should be, or you feel like you deserve more than what you're currently getting in your existing position. I personally, I don't think I've ever experienced that, but I have definitely seen it. I've seen it go down when a manager position open, and then there are multiple people who are vying for that position, competing for that position. And then one person gets it, the other person doesn't. And they're both pretty equivalent in terms of seniority, skills, talents, expertise. That person that didn't get the job, who really wants it, tends to go ahead and apply and find another position outside of the company. I've definitely witnessed it firsthand. Redefining rage and realizing my worth. The Los Angeles music industry is fast paced, so I wasn't surprised to be moving on so quickly, but I was relieved that the timing worked out so well for me. I applied for a music manager job over the weekend and I interviewed for it the following Tuesday. I was offered the position by Thursday. Wow, that escalated quickly. So let's say she applied for the job. Let's just say she applied for the job that Friday evening, right? Even though it says over the weekend, so it really could be Saturday or Sunday. But let's say it was Friday evening. And then they call her in for an interview for that following Tuesday. So that's just about 3 days, 3 to 4 days of them reviewing her application. And then within a week, less than a week, she's already been offered a new position at this other company. Wow. And all the while, other jobs also offer me positions. So she's just not getting an offer from one external company, but now multiple. Wow. Now I'm working for a smaller music library and I'm making more money than I did in my last job. And I have a more senior role. That's a packed sentence, okay? We can pretty much assume a few things. She's working for a smaller music library, which means that she probably has less responsibilities, even though she's a manager. So pulling back, she is a manager now, but she has different duties, but probably at a smaller scale since this as the smaller music library. So that's great. Then she's also making more money than she did at her last job. So with that promotion came more money and not as rough of a time as she would have had if she had the manager position at her old job. Because since this is a smaller library, we can assume that even if she got the manager position at her old job, she may have had even more or even greater responsibilities, duties, expectations of her at that old larger job than this new smaller music library. And of course, she has the resume builder, right? So now she has the more senior role as a music manager. Rage applying helped me know my worth. The music industry can be hard to navigate, but I think my rage applying helped me land new opportunities quickly. It made my thoughts clearer, and I wasn't nervous at all. I knew I couldn't stay at my old company, and I knew that I couldn't settle for less than what I'm worth. Rage doesn't have to mean something negative. It helped me realize exactly what I deserve from an employer and helped me be unafraid to ask for it. Wow. Yeah, I feel like us as employees, I feel like we need there's some kind of turning point or some kind of triggering event that occurs that prompts us to seek change. Do you agree? Let me know if you agree. And if you enjoyed the article, click the like button. This was based on, I believe her name is Jordan Smith. Yep, Jordan Smith. She talked about how she rage applied to 5 jobs after being passed over for her promotion. So, yeah, I think there are times where we feel like change just has to come and it has to come now. Either we don't like our manager, or we got looked over from a promotion opportunity, or we just feel internally like we should be at a more advanced position. Sometimes you just know when it's time. Like, okay, I've learned all that I can learn. It's time for me to learn more and to grow more professionally. Or we have some other motivations that could prompt you to get a new position as well. So I have created a list of basically three things that I think may prompt you to want a new job. So what motivates you to search for a new job? In the comment section, let me know below what motivates you specifically. In the past, or are you thinking about it now? Are you thinking about a new position, or maybe even a new career or a new industry? What motivates you? But before we get into it, go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed it. Consider joining the channel and also comment below your thoughts so far. What motivates you to search for a new job? All right. The first thing that I came up with is changes in lifestyle. So maybe you just got married, maybe you had a child, or you're thinking about having a child or adopting a child. Maybe you have to move, right? Maybe you're now a caretaker, or you have these additional responsibilities in your personal life. Maybe you want to purchase a home, you have financial goals, you want to save more for retirement. Something is calling you to earn more money. That could be a reason why you want to search for a new job. Lifestyle, maybe you need more flexibility. Maybe you no longer want to come into the office 5 days a week, but now you want to come in 1 day a week or 2 days a week. So you want a more hybrid type of workplace. That could also be a change in lifestyle. So that's definitely an option for you and for anyone who wants a new job. That could prompt you to search and rage apply, quote unquote, to a new position, a change in lifestyle. Number 2, feelings complacency. Feelings of complacency. Do you feel like you could be doing more? Like there's more that you could be doing? Does that motivate you to rage apply and to apply for a new job or to seek out people who can help you, give you advice, and steer you in the right direction for your career? We feel complacent. Maybe you're bored at work at what you do, and you just feel like you're not being challenged enough or you're not learning enough, and that there's more out there that should be available for you. Maybe you already have your 10 plus years of experience and you feel like you're like an expert in your field now. So you think you're qualified to branch out, to do new things. Maybe that could prompt you to rage apply because you're dissatisfied with your current position and you feel like you deserve more. That could very well be a cause, feeling complacent. Like you're a little too comfortable at work, things are going a little too well, and you're not used to that. You're used to the competitive nature of your job, maybe. Maybe you're the person that's on top and there's no promotion opportunity in sight. And so you just feel like you need to switch it up. I know for sure right now, I feel like I am a bit complacent, especially after getting my CIA exam certification. I feel like I have these feelings, and then of course you have the new year coming in. So just like, okay, what's next? What's new? What's my next challenge? What should I do next? Or what should I accomplish next? Or what do I want to see myself doing 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Like, do I still want to be in internal audit? Or do I want to challenge myself? Do I want to return to public accounting? Or do I want to do something totally different from accounting and auditing altogether? Those are literally things that I think of. And then finally, my last reason for rage applying or switching up jobs that I've come up with is just goal setting and career aspirations. So I kind of touched on this in the last point. You have this outline of how you want your career to look, where you want to be by the age of 35 or the age of 40. And you feel like your current position just doesn't allow you that trajectory or that potential to build up to that dream role or title. So maybe one day you want to be a chief financial officer, but you're still at the staff associate level and you feel like getting to manager just is not going to work well or is not going to be attainable at your current employer. So kind of have to branch out to different companies, different organizations to find those openings that can propel you to the career that you were dreaming of. And then goal setting. Always set goals for sure for yourself. The key phrase, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So definitely keep in mind of goals that you want to attain in the short term and in the long term. But yes, thank you for joining me for this brief live chat. I just wanted to know what motivates you to search for a new job. It's a new year. The girl in the article, she was just at her job for 2 years. So she felt that itch. But, and I do think that's more of a millennial Gen Z thing where we get a little antsy or we have anticipation of trying something new or moving to the next level in short-term intervals. Whereas I believe, baby boomers and maybe even some older millennials feel like they want to be loyal to the company or they don't want to make too drastic of a change because their family dynamic right now is working. So they just don't want to make any quick changes to their lifestyle or their work life. But let me know your thoughts below. Let me know your thoughts. Be sure to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you have already subscribed, thank you again for joining and returning to watch another video. More is to come. As always, stay blessed and stay boss C.